Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Roslyn and we are the Blue Doyennes. Before we get started, I thought I'd best just clarify our name because it is slightly unusual. So we were originally the blue team and decided to keep our colour, but Doyenne means the most respected or prominent woman in a particular field. And as the team of all females, we thought this summed us up quite nicely. And we've got a particular shout out to our colleague Gab, who unfortunately couldn't make it today, but she was very much part of the project as well. So before we get started, I thought I'd just ask, can I please see a show of hands if anybody had ever heard of Onkaparinga prior to today? That's actually pretty good. Majority of our group hadn't, and I hope that you will get some wine so you can taste the region, but for those of you who don't know, Onkaparinga is home to the wine region of McLaren Vale. So the city of Onkaparinga covers the red area on this map. It's approximately 40 minutes drive from Adelaide and often passed through on the way to Kangaroo Island. Home to award-winning wineries including the famous Darrenberg Cube and other hidden gems such as the Wollonga Farmers Market, rivers, gorges and 31 kilometres of spectacular coastline. Our client will soon be launching a new brand promoting the region under McLaren Vale and the Florio Coast, the only place in Australia where pristine beaches and unique villages are part of an internationally recognised wine and food region within 40 minutes of a capital city. Onkaparinga currently attracts over 1 million visitors annually, injecting $210 million into the local economy. Given its close proximity to Adelaide, over 80% of visitation is for the day. However, the origin is currently unidentifiable. It is largely self-drive and holiday leisure focused. With the international airline capacity continuing to grow into Adelaide, the city of Onkaparinga seeks to secure additional market share of the Asian markets. Our first task was to identify a suitable market, which Jess will now take you through.
So just to clarify, there is some wine tastings going around, so if you see some, just grab them because it's City of Onkaparinga wine. So when asked to identify a suitable eastern market for the City of Onkaparinga to target, we first started with aviation access, identifying those markets who have direct flights into Adelaide, those being Singapore, Malaysia, China and Hong Kong. We recommended the Singapore market as the most suitable and attainable for several reasons, but mainly looking at the intent and motivations to travel from the Singapore market, especially when considering the existing products in the Onkaparinga region. At a national level, Singapore is a mature market for the whole of Australia, whose consumers have a solid knowledge of the destination already. Their motivations to travel to a destination are based on good food and wine, world-class nature, friendly and welcoming locals, family-friendly activities, security and safety, and value for money. Now, if you're paying attention to Roslyn's introduction, you can probably already tell that the City of Onkaparinga can tick off a lot of these motivations for travel to the Singapore market already. But keep them in mind for a bit longer because my colleague Amy will be going through them in a bit more detail to see how the Singapore market really suits the City of Onkaparinga. When we looked into the Singapore market, we identified achievable growth due to the recent travel trends and intent for travel from the market. The last few years, Australia has been the fourth most visited international destination from the Singapore traveller, coming after China, Hong Kong and Taiwan. Looking forward, Japan is the #1 intended travel destination for Singapore consumers, but Australia is coming in too, not only as the aspirational travel destination, but an intended travel destination in the next few years. This telling us that Singaporeans not only are wanting, but already are coming to Australia, making it an attainable and realistic target market for the City of Onkaparinga when they're looking and addressing the motivations for travel. More specifically for South Australia, Singapore has been a growing market for the state, showing positive growth since 2007. The majority of Singapore visitors to Adelaide base themselves in the city, taking small, short trips to regional areas nearby. Singapore visitors to Adelaide are very typical in their interest in food and wine, nature and wildlife, taking short self-drive trips, being largely free and independent. FIT is a rapidly growing segment of the Singaporean market, with less than 1/4 of Singapore visitors to Australia travelling on group tours. This showing the recent shift towards semi and fully independent travel from the market. FIT is particularly well suited to the City of Onkaparinga's existing products, those being smaller operators and venues that don't have capacity to take large groups, instead a lot more well suited to smaller family groups and FIT travellers. These insights into the Singapore market present an opportunity to attracting existing FIT Singaporean travellers in Adelaide to the City of Onkaparinga for day trips and extended stays. So now you know the market, I'll pass you to Amy, who's going to take you through some of the existing assets in the region.
Onkaparinga have a variety of amazing food, wine, nature and adventure experiences already available. I'm going to run through the products that we deem as internationally ready to place into the Singaporean inbound market. So food and wine experiences. There are 3 major South Australian wineries in the McLaren Vale region which have developed various unique experiences suited to all budget types and demographics. These wineries include D'Arenberg, Wirra Wirra and Gemtree. These wineries are a part of the Ultimate Winery Experiences Australia, which are a hand-selected collection of Australia's premium wineries offering quality experiences based around world-class wineries and culinary excellence. All 3 have free of charge experiences, but more importantly, all have got packages and tours set at low, medium and high price points, which have the ability to be sold at commissionable rates within the international market. Here are some of the highlights of the 3 wineries. D'Arenberg. So D'Arenberg is known for being more than just a winery. It's commonly known for its famous piece of artwork, the D'Arenberg Cube, where guests for just $10 can experience wine tasting and enjoy the building's 5 levels, featuring a wine sensory room, virtual fermenter, 360-degree video room, and the alternative reality museum containing many art installations. Individuals, couples, and small groups can enjoy a variety of food and wine experiences, from 90-minute wine and cheese tasting masterclasses through their premium VIP experiences, which encompasses all of the above, but also a helicopter or plane tour. These experiences vary from $685 per person to $1,080 per couple. Now looking at Wirra Wirra Winery, similar to D'Arenberg, it offers a lot more than just wine tastings. A quarter-ton ringing bell sits within the vineyard, in addition to a medieval siege which hurls watermelons. From 60-minute wine tasting packages to full-day experiences, Wirra Wirra's products feature vineyard tours, bell ringing, wine tasting, masterclasses, and seated lunches with paired wines. Product prices varying from $60 to $110 per person. And the final winery, Gemtree, it offers a different style of wine tour to that of D'Arenberg and Wirra Wirra. As a biodynamic winery, Gemtree's experiences revolve around ecological farming, in addition to wine tasting, of course. Depending on not only the traveller's budget, but also the type of experience they're seeking, Gemtree's packages range from an introductory 1-hour tour based on biodynamic winemaking processes, through to their premium product, the Gem, their $1,200 a couple private guided tour, inclusive of premium wine tastings, a degustation lunch with the vineyard owners, and a private chef. And then the other experience that we see available is the nature and adventure. So in particular, the off-piste four-wheel drive tours, which is an upmarket off-road company, unlocking journeys to hard-to-reach places, which showcase the Fleurieu Peninsula region. Their tailor-made itineraries feature nature and wildlife tours, multi-day tours, four-wheel drive, ATV off-road tours, wine tours and tastings. Tours can be run either privately or for small intimate groups. Depending on the tour type, pricing begins from about $250 per person. I'm now going to pass over to Ashley, who's going to talk about the gaps that we've identified in the market.
There are a number of product and experience gaps for the Singaporean market that we've identified as a group. 3 of these gaps include social media and brand awareness, wildlife and nature experience, and the accommodation available. As we all know, social media has an enormous influence on the tourism industry. More than 58% of Singaporean travellers are inspired by recommendations from friends and families who post things on sites such as Instagram and Facebook. Based on these simple statistics, it is essential that any region to look to develop and grow has a strong social media presence and brand. At this stage, the Onkaparinga region has a huge potential for growth to further develop their impact on social media. This potential for development can be seen through the region's public Instagram post. If we compare 2 regions, so the Onkaparinga region and the Yarra Valley Wine region, the Onkaparinga region has around 6,000 posts on Instagram. And then if you view the Yarra Valley Wine region, which has over 400,000 posts on Instagram. It is clear that the Onkaparinga region needs to implement a strategy to further develop their social media presence. Through gaining a greater social media presence and building on the region's brand, there is likely to be an increase in visitation and product demand. Our second gap that we recognised was wildlife experiences. A key influence when selecting a holiday destination for the Singaporean market is the opportunity to experience world-class nature. Currently, the Onkaparinga region offers one wildlife experience, the Woodstock Wildlife Sanctuary, where visitors can experience in daily kangaroo feeding. This experience can be further developed to combine guided nature experiences to further appeal to the market. Smaller wildlife experiences can be incorporated to offer a more hands-on experience with exposure to native animals. Currently, there's no standalone product on the market offering guided bushwalks and natural wildlife encounters. 30% of Singaporean travellers are influenced by world-class nature experiences, and by meeting this demand, the region will see growth in visitation. The third gap that we recognised was the gap in the accommodation. According to Tourism Australia, a Singaporean traveller spends $256 on average per night, with 1 in 3 travellers preferring to stay in a holiday apartment or Airbnb style accommodation. As you can see on the images on the slide, the accommodation available in the area are basic hotels, motels, and bed and breakfast style accommodation, with the introduction in 2020 of a luxury hotel. To further appeal to the market, the region would need to support the introduction of more apartment style accommodation and help facilitate sites like Airbnb and stays further developing in the region. I'll now hand over to Fiona to run you through our itineraries.
Hope you're all enjoying the wines that are being handed around. Along with some of these gaps, there is a small gap for some itineraries on offer to people. So we're having a look at some of these, and I'm presenting my little itinerary, which I've named Flavocation. So you would head down to the Onkaparinga region and head off on your Flavocation. This is one example of the many itineraries that would be available based on all the great products that we've identified, along with many others that are available in the region, and they can be mixed and matched to suit people. These are tours that will see the visitors explore the world-class vineyards, cellar doors, bite into the fantastic food scene over lunch, dinner and snacks throughout the day, and have an opportunity to buy some of their hand-selected local ingredients from their famous farmers market. So day 1 of the package. It's a late start, you can have a sleep in, 10 a.m. You'll be picked up from your accommodation. There's great accommodation already, but it needs to be improved. So maybe Serafino Winery would be to everyone's comfort. The first stop will be the beautiful Gem Tree Wines. And here you'll be able to enjoy a behind the scenes tour where it's a family winery, and they will show you their passion for the environment and acknowledgement of the importance of the vineyards and the ecosystem in that area. It symbolises everything the brand stands for, and it's a great spot for everybody to stop for lunch. After lunch, you'll be collected and you'll head just down the road from Gem Tree to Wirra Wirra. This is where you can ring the bell and throw a watermelon if that's what tickles your fancy. And then you'll head to their historic cellar door for a tasting range of exclusive wines, or pop into Harry's Deli for some of the, he's got preset menus of tasting plates of all the local South Australian produce. So you get to spend a few hours there before heading down to the famous Cube, which we've already mentioned before. And at the Cube, there is over 70 varieties, 70 single products on sale for tasting. So this tour would leave you there for a number of hours, giving you the opportunity to taste all the wines and then head through the Cube, do all the tours, see how everything's made, make your own wine, which you can also then purchase on your way out the door. From 5 p.m. until whenever you decide, you're then encouraged to book into any one of the great restaurants in town. They've got the Salopian Inn or the Star of Greece, which I've personally eaten at many times. It's one to definitely go to. And have a nice meal and reminisce about your day, but you don't want to stay up too late because day 2 will see the action-packed package. It's an early start on day 2. You would get up and head to the Willunga Farmers Market. This is South Australia's first ever farmers market, and a great opportunity for the Singaporean visitors to mix with the locals, buy some of the fresh local produce, take that home with them. You know, taste some of the food, taste some of the produce, and meet the people that grew the food that they ate at the restaurants the night before. Spend a few hours there, and at about 11:30 you would be picked up by off-piste four-wheel drive tours, which we've identified as one of the really great tours, and probably the closest that takes you not just wine tasting, but then to see the beautiful Fleurieu Peninsula, which is absolutely stunning. They'll take you through places that you wouldn't go in a car, place that you wouldn't even dream of going to because you wouldn't know it existed. They've got quite an exclusive array of locations to take you to. That will take you through until about 3:30 to give everyone a chance to get their airport transfers and all of those all of those different things, or go back to Adelaide to spend more time. Now, these are just a wine bottle, the tip of the wine bottle of what people can do on the Fleurieu Peninsula. And these two days can very easily be split up into individual day tours, can easily be used for self-drive market that want to come in and do it on their own but still have, you know, those different interactions and, you know, make sure that they're seeing all of the regions. So it's just the tip, but they can be broken down, extrapolated on and everything like that. So yeah, that's what I've got for you. And now Danny is going to come and work out how we're going to share all of this with everyone so that they do come.
Thanks, Fiona. Online bookings are growing rapidly in Singapore as airlines and retail agencies expand their online presence for both group and FIT markets. Consumers in Singapore are value conscious and actively seek destination information and deals before making travel purchases. To paint a complete picture, let's follow the travel journey of our friend Sue up here. Sue is a seasoned traveller, having recently travelled to New York with her husband Adrian. Sue and Adrian are in their early 30s and are middle-of-the-range income earners who are digitally savvy. Sue loves capturing photos on social media. Sue likes her wine and knows it very well, and also loves nature and landscapes. Sue loves Instagram and scrolling through her feed to view the most amazing places to visit and food to eat. She does most of her travel research on her phone actually, and wants to be the first of her friends to discover a new amazing place. The inspiration stage hit Sue after the jungle of New York. Sue wants to experience something really different. She wants nature, food and wine all in one. She really wants an adventure with her husband before they start a family. Her first point of call is texting her best friend Maggie. Maggie is single and even more travelled than Sue, much to Sue's dismay of course. Maggie suggests Australia and mentions the wine region of South Australia is one of the best she has ever been to. Sue is thrilled by this and starts researching the wine region of South Australia on Instagram. The hashtags she uses are Wine South Australia, Wine Oz, Nature and Wine, and so on and so forth. She stumbles across some gorgeous images and landscapes and is excited already. She even discovers a really cool looking building in the middle of a winery called D'Arenberg Cube. She really wants to know more and starts her search on Facebook and Google. After a quick Google search and a read of Facebook reviews, Sue discovers that D'Arenberg Cube is a wine, cultural and nature experience that she can't miss, and learns that it is situated in a place called McLaren Vale, less than an hour away from the capital city of Adelaide in South Australia. She digs a bit deeper and looks to see if any of the travel bloggers that she follows have been there, and discovers that her favourite wine blogger most certainly has. After a bit more research on TripAdvisor, reading reviews, she makes the decision to go, tells her husband of course, and both confirm 2 weeks off work. Sue is conscious she wants the best deal and starts her journey on the Chan Brothers website to see if there are any package deal specials available. She also heads on to Singapore Airlines and Scoot to compare flight prices. After her extensive comparisons, she discovered that Scoot offered her the best flights and that the Chan Brothers deal she found was the best option for accommodation and activities, as it included everything she and her husband wanted to experience and meant she didn't have to worry about booking activities on arrival. After booking, Sue continues to look at Instagram and TripAdvisor to ensure she isn't missing out on any great experiences and photo opportunities ahead of her trip. On arrival at Adelaide Airport, she picks up maps and booklets for reference during her journey. Needless to say, she has the best time. Throughout her trip, she is constantly uploading photos to Instagram that Adrian helps her take, of course, creating Instagram stories for her friends to see, and formulates her review writing upon her return to Singapore. A digital presence throughout Sue's journey has really assisted in bringing Sue from inspiration phase to arrival in Onkaparinga through promotion of its key attractions. As online research and bookings are increasing, operators need to have up-to-date websites with the ability to book online, and Onkaparinga needs a strong digital presence through its key opinion leaders, social media, and the booking channels mentioned to cut through in a crowded travel market. Thank you from the Blue Doyennes.